Oh, good evening. Today the Hooves were on at Wyong. The track was given out a dead 5. They upgraded to a dead 4. No difference. The rail was out 2 metres from the 1350 to the 210, where a cutaway comes into play, and there's not really any effect with it. The first race, well, there were only 3 captains on the fence today. One of the other captains who's generally there, he went to the Coffs Harbour meeting, and I was in the outside ring, one out Wally. The other couple of captains who were out there with me, they were at apparently at Coffs Harbour as well, and hope they had some luck. They had more luck than we did at. Wouldn't have had to have too much luck to have more luck than we had at Wyong. There was just nobody there. The pros, one pro, he bet in one race, and he's deadly. He found the winner, $6 into $5. Early in the day, one of the other pros, he played ball for a few races and dropped off, and another one bet in quite a few races, and the last one left, he bet in 2 races only, and of course there were just no punters there. No punters. Where are the punters gone? They don't exist. They're like dinosaurs these days. Whether the TAB's got them betting these fixed odds they're giving, or they're trying to win on the internet and getting deals with the corporates, and of course you can't get on there if you're a winner backer. But anyway, there's just nobody at the races, and it's a joke. I don't know what we're doing there. We're playing to an empty house. Anyway, look, I'll do as good a job as I can telling you how the meeting went, playing away. On the screen, the first race it said 110.5. We gave a little bit less, 108. The pros did play here, as I said early in the piece. Number 1, Beach, that it never had a name. It went from $4 out to $5 unlayable. It took the pros to come into the favourite Dragon Bay, who ran third, having its chance to get to $2.90 and $2.80 before they bet. One of them had $1,500 on it with me at $2.80. The next runner never had a price, 8 squared. Likewise, Intangible Queen. The winner, we put up $5.50 and we never gave $6. We left it there. It was our only, that was for us. And then the bottom 2 were backed. Lay down the law. It was $11 into $9, and Top Glory went from $6 out to $8 back into 6. Both of those found by the pros. I found it hard to lay the winner. Whether the other captains did it, I don't know. Won something on the first race, but it didn't take long. Gave it all back, plus in the second race. The winner, Plugger, going back to the first race, the winner, Jive Talk, it went to the lead. It went to the lead and set a solid pace by Tommy Berry. Not overly quick, but enough to make sure that he wasn't challenged coming to the turn, and where they were all off a bit chasing him, and he was able to hang on and beat one of the ones the pros back, Top Glory, by only 0.2 of a length. As I said, the favourite got into third hole after coming from second last on the fence. Now the second race, as I said, it didn't take them long. The winner, Plugger, there were only 4 of us there, and we all had up $9. And the pros said, well, how much to the 4 of us? And kicked off, letting him on to win $2,000 at the $9. And all the way into $4, now it's $4.60, after laying bets in between, of course, and good bets at $4.60, 1,000 on it at $4.60. I was claimed by another pro who didn't take the $9 early, and of course it's got the cash. Started $4, and it beat the opening favourite, the Shooter, who was very, very hard to lay. The figures were hopeless, and we were shot ducks in this race. it went up evens, the shooter. I did put up $3 on my board at one stage, but quickly wound it off without laying it. But it did get something out of it at $2.90. It went straight to the lead, the shooter, as was predicted, and was caught on the line by the plugger, who sat in the 1 out 1 position right on the line to beat it by to win by 1 point of a length. And the second pick in the race, Sabutai, who us captains were hoping for, it was the stablemate to the favourite. It opened up, we put up $3, and we got it to $3.80. It had every possible chance, sat behind a stablemate on the fence, and dropped out and ran fourth, beaten 2.6 lengths. Flux screen 99.3. We gave 92 in the marketplace. Very embarrassing. Race 3, the flux screen said 113.4, a little bit less. The marketplace 108%, but there are just runners that aren't layable, and they haven't got names, friendless, and there's no one there to back them. The top weight, He's a Clown. It went from $4 out to $7, back into $5.50. There was something for it. Likewise, the next runner, it was $7 out to $10, back into $8.50. Power Supply. Now the favourite is Strada's Diamond. I haven't struck it yet. I haven't struck a blow yet. We put it up $1.85 to 4 run. It was $2.80 beating at the finish. So she's a we're all wanting her to get home. She was a little lightly framed filly, and she missed the kick slightly, and chased the tearaway leader, Madavai, and got past it turning for home, got clear, and looked all over and said, well, this is lovely. But down the outside came the first starter here, Here to Princess, who was checked fairly heavily at the start and settled well back in the field, about fourth last position, a long way from the lead, but there was pace on in the race all the way, and it came down the outside to grab victory and win by half a length. They got right away from the others. It was 2.5 lengths away to the third horse, another first starter, The Look, who was a 30 to 1 chance, didn't have a price. It sat in fourth hole, coming to the turn, having every possible. The winner, nothing to write home about, but it did make up plenty of ground, as I say, but the form is most probably fairly sus out in that race. There were runners that didn't have prices, and as I say, now this winner, the favourite, the opening favourite, as I said, Strada's Diamond, didn't have a price, but the winner, it went up $3 and got to $3.50. Might have been $3.60 on one board. It did start $3. The pros took the $3.60, $3.50, $3.40, $3.30, and it was the best back runner by far. The fourth race, on the screen, we said that it said 118.7. Oh, there was plenty of per there, and there's plenty of per at the top odds in the ring too. 112. We had our fingers burnt those last two in races 2 and 3. So we'll play a straight bat here, and we've got 112. There was no one there to take the price. Oh yes, but late, after we gave the $2, got the opening favourite Gold Opponent, trained by Chris Lees, out to $2.40 after putting it up evens. It was started evens. The pros took the 240, 230, and the 220 and the 210, started evens, sat back in third last position in between runners. Christian Rees rode it. He always had plenty of horse underneath him. He was looking at the leaders coming to the turn, eased around their heels, came widest. He knew he more or less had the 10% under his bed when turning for home, and it won by 1.3 lengths. There were runners in this race that just never had prices. 112%, it just doesn't count. The top weight, Anane, was $11 to 17. The next Crown of Snippets was $10 out to 12. I never struck it for a blow on the first starter, Dream Diva, who had trialled fairly well. Went up 5 to 2, got out to $4, $3.50 out to 4. Never struck it for a blow. A Fortunate 4, It was $10 out to 13. The 8-year-old having his first start in the race, Grand Moss, an 8-year-old mare, it went from $10 to 17. Another first starter, Bless This Day, went from $4.40 to $7. The favourite I've already told you, and Merciless, it was $19 into $10. Laid some good bets against it. Bad losing race. Race 5, 117 on the fluck board. There are only 3 less in the ring, very similar. Horses never had prices, and one of them happened to be the favourite. 114% we gave in the ring. There's a bit of money for number 1. Dance Lover opened up the $8, got to 9, back into its opening price at $8. Next runner, the second pick, Grift, never had a price, never put its name in the ledger. $3.50 to $6.50. Wish I would have got home. Ran second, got beat 1.3 lengths. The next couple of runners, no price. The favourite, Pink and Blue, went up $1.80. It's $2.50 on my board when they jumped. They did take it off. The pros did take $2.50, and I struck it for one of the pros back to win $2,000 with me at $2.50. I was hoping he'd say more, but that's all he wanted to back it for. And next runner, Yarreen Road, didn't have a price. Likewise, Golden Scribe. There was a little bit of money for the next runner. Golden Scribe, a little bit of money for it, $11 into $9. And then we get to the winner, giving Chris Lee's a double, long lasting. It was $6 into $5. 6 taken, $5.50 taken, and $5 taken. I think if the betting would have gone for another minute, they would have cut into the $5. It was very touchy at the finish. It drew the outside alley, copped a fairly heavy knock at the start of the when he jumped, but Christian Reese, he velodromed. He stayed out very wide on the track, joined the leaders out wide before the turn, fair bit before the turn, maybe a furlong before the turn, was able to cross and find the fence and lead, or might have been a little bit off it, and he fought on too strongly to beat Grift, as I say, the opening favourite of Blue, alarmingly, never had a price, and it was 1.3 lengths away in second place, and the favourite, Pink and Blue, who was third on the fence, being scrubbed all the way, never going to win. It finished up in third hole, beaten 4.1 lengths. Another bad losing race for the captains. Race 6, 118.4, 106 in the marketplace. Late as they jumped, I only marked at 9 to 1 County Cavan, and why I went 11 I don't know. There was no one there, but out of the asphalt came one of the pros and said, he didn't ask me for any more. He only said, to win 2,000, number 2, bet him 2,000 to 200, took the cream off the race. Shama Bell never had a price. By the way, it went straight to the lead County Cavan, led and fought off all challengers to win by a half a length. Shama Bell didn't have a price, $5 out to $7. The winner was backed early in the piece, 11 or 12 maybe. $12 it was, 12 into 10. As I say, I went 11 towards the finish and laid it. Next runner was a bit of money for it, Revolutionised, $15 into 12. Snipper's Glory, extremely well backed. Went up 7 to 2, got out to 9 to 2, started 13 to 4, laid it very well to lose 2 or 3,000 a couple of times. Fluctuations, why I wound 650 off, I don't know. Wish I would have won. It was a client away from me. It was I had 650 up on my board. I think it might have been the only board, but I wound it off $6. Started that price, would have been a good result. The next runner, it didn't have a price. It was the opening favourite, Cheney's Crown. Ryder said when he got off it, said to the vet or the stewards that he was a little bit concerned with this action. It went from 9 to 4, $3.20 to $6. Priceless. Couldn't give it away. You could have put up any price and you wouldn't have found a customer. The next runner was Well Back Straddle, $17 given, laid 2 or 3,000 against it at $13, and he started 11. Next 3 runners didn't have prices. Even though it was only $9 on my board, Muscat, I haven't struck it for $8 to 1. And the bottom pair, On Your Jet and Short Safari, both were $13 to $17. not in the ledger, in my ledger anyway. Come to race 7, 111.1 bet. It was the best luck on the screen. Only 102 and plenty of runners here without a price. The winner was found. It was found by the pros, one of the first runners back in Finelli. It was $18 into $15. The pro had a nice little tasty plate, and then towards the end of the betting, one of the other pros, who's a very keen filthy fair watcher, cut into the $15. He was a bit concerned that he asked me that whether it got the chocolates or not in the photo. There was 100 to 1 on it at one, and I told him he had nothing to worry about, but he still showed a little bit of anxiety, just thinking the worst. But he never had any worries, even though it only won by a short margin. And it was $15 late after they cut into it early. 15 into well, geez, 13. No, it might have been. It was $13, I think. Hard to get towards the end of betting. Might have been 14-1 board, but extremely well backed. Now, it happened to be Sophisticated Lass, who started equal favourite at $4.20. It went up $4.40, got to $6.50, and the pros cut into it right towards the finish. I never gave the $6.50 or the $6 or the $5.50, but bet 4 monkeys about it, and then the pros how much me at $4.60, and they had a nice little plate there. Started $4.20. It shot clear, sat in 5th hole, ridden by Peter Roble, shot clear after turning for home and looked the winner. But down the outside, as we now know, came Finelli, who came from 4th last. Ridden very well, went inside a runner who was wide all the way, characterised, turning for home, not going around. It might have won of the race, and she nabbed the equal favourite on the line. And starting equal favourite was Millionaire's Love, who didn't have a price, went from $2.80 to $4.20. There wasn't a person at Wyong said, well, I didn't know it was in the race, so, and they were quite right. It settled back midfield on the fence, and it had every possible chance and went Kleiner. What else? Well, there was another runner in the market, Entourage. It opened up $4.40, got to $6 again, unlayable, and a runner that was very well backed, like the winner, was the bottom one, Wayne's World. I marked it 25 to 1. I could have had it shorter, although I thought it had some sort of chance in the race, even marking it a pony. It went up $15, but it only started $8.50. It was extremely well backed. They had 2 large plates of it, but as I say, if you went off the $18 to $15 the winner, you lost on the race, and they had us again. Now, come the last, gee whiz, wasn't this fat on the screen? But if you're there booking, if you're sitting at home or sitting somewhere, say, look at these lovely bookies. What didn't they have plenty in their favour in the last? It was Fly Blown Mag. At least one of the pros got his settling after the second last race, said he wasn't playing in the last, and the other pros they were unsighted. But no one bet. The winner was the opening favourite, Sovereign Debt. It was an easy way for me. Went up $3.50, got to $4. Not one of the 4 booking. One of the 4 of us gave $4.20. We stood fat. The top weight Sutton Brave, it went from $5 out to $6.50 into $5.50 at one stage, but it was $6.50 on my board when they jumped. Where's Red Feathers? Did lay at $11, $2,200 for something. Airgon didn't have a price, $4 out to $5. Academy du Jour, it went from $12 to $16. Holy Thread resuming, changed stables, resuming for a long spell, not a price, $10 to $16. My worst way was the next runner, Just Another. I marked it a lot longer than it was. Thought it was a good risk. Every fool's got to be right sometime. Went up $4.40. It was taken, and I laid a few good bets against it. And it came into $3.80 at one stage. It was clear favourite, but it got out to, I was $4.60 when they jumped, and it couldn't lay it towards, the finish of betting. And the bottom weight, Shanghai, it was well, but $10 given one board. It only started 8, and it's got no pace, that horse. Settled down in last position, was scrubbed all the way. It ran into fifth hole, beaten about 3.6 lengths. The winner, Sovereign Debt, there was always going to be plenty of pace on in this race. Just Another, who couldn't cross and find the bunny, and that was the end of it. It couldn't cross Air Dom, who held the inside from barrier 1, and sitting right behind them, getting a lovely suck up. But it was the top weight Sutton Brave. It shelved itself today. It ran second last, beaten 6 lengths. It was gone before the turn after having a beautiful run. But the rider said it does its best when it leads. If it would have led, it would have got beat further. And the winner, there was a good bit of pace up the front. After the first 3, there was about 4 lengths at one stage to Where's Red Feathers, who finished up running third, having every possible chance. And the winner, Sovereign Debt, it was second last, third last on the fence. And Nathan Berry always had plenty of horse underneath him. And they were spread out at one stage. There was a big distance between first and, even though it was a 1100 metre race, between first and last, there would have been a good 10 plus lengths at one stage. And by the time they got to the turn, the leaders were starting to feel the pinch. And Nathan Berry, he knew he only had to get a run to win the race, turning for home. He didn't bother. He went in between runners. Didn't go into the cutaway. His momentum was just slightly held up for a couple of strides. He balanced it up, went through a gap, and went away and won by 1.8 lengths. It had plenty on them. It shouldn't have been $4. Anyway, that was about the program. This game, look, I know it's the middle of winter, and it's been pretty cold in Sydney, but the punters, how do they keep on expecting the punters to line up day after day, betting on a race every time you turn the screen and there's a dog, trot, or horse race on somewhere? Are they bananas? Anyway, hope you have some luck coming the weekend. Of course, there's 100 meetings on tomorrow, but for people going to the races on Saturday, if you want to open an account with me or bet on the telephone or come and see me at the races, come and say hello, and I'll do my best for you. Good night.